Good day to y'all. So, today I'm going to be playing a game of Bookish Would You Rather. Now, I found this online. I can't remember where I found it, but I will leave a link down in the description if you want to do it. I will also leave the questions down below as well if you want to play along at home. So, I'm just going to get straight into it because there isn't really much else to say. The first one is, would you rather only read mass market paperbacks or only read stiff non-floppy paperbacks? And I don't mind a mass market paperback. They're okay. There's no issue with them, is there? And actually, I've never really been a big lover of the floppy backs, like the floppy paperbacks. I don't mind them. They're great. I've had one recently and I was like, ooh, and it was really all fun. But it doesn't bother me. So I think I'd go with a stiff non-floppy paperback because I don't mind mass market. I don't mind the stiff non-floppies, but I prefer a bigger book than a mass market one because they're fairly small. So yeah, stiff non-floppy paperback for me. Would you rather have your favourite character be a horrible person in real life or your favourite author be a horrible person in real life? I think I think this is cutting quite close to home for a few people right now who love Harry Potter. I think I would rather have my favourite author be a horrible person because I know a lot of people, in fact, it's so close to home right now. A lot of people say it's so hard to take the author out of the work. Like, being associated with an author who is not perhaps the most well-liked right now because they're not quite polite right now has really ruined a good series for them. But for me, I have been able to differentiate between the author and their work because their work can be so good and so powerful. I think we all know who I'm talking about, don't we? So, speaking, for example, with Harry Potter, the work that came around with Harry Potter is so powerful and so meaningful to a lot of people. It is a series that a lot of people grew up with and it taught so many really good values, and now a lot of people are feeling as though that has been ruined for them. And I personally have been able to differentiate. I've been able to take myself away and say, just because this is what an author is like does not mean it should reflect on the work they've previously published. So my favourite author is James Patterson, and I've met him and he is absolutely lovely. He was lovely when I met him. I don't know what he's like in general life. I don't really hang out with him that often. But when I met him, he was the most lovely person I have ever met. And I think if he was horrible, I would still love his work and I would still love the stories he wrote. Whereas if, for example, one of his most famous characters is Alex Cross. Everyone knows I love Alex Cross. It's my favourite James Patterson book series. If Alex Cross was a really bad character, I wouldn't want to read the books. If he was a horrible person in real life, I wouldn't want to read the books. Whereas if James Patterson was a horrible person, I'd still read the books because the books are good. I just perhaps wouldn't purchase any new books. You know, if I was going to get some updated new releases, I'd buy them off eBay because he wouldn't be getting any profit from an eBay purchase or a charity shop purchase. So I wouldn't support him as an author. I would still buy the books. Whereas if the character was horrible, I wouldn't want to read the book because why would I want to read a book featuring a horrible character? I hope that makes sense. It's a very touchy subject right now, so I'm trying to be very delicate. Question 3. Would you rather meet your favourite booktubers or your favourite book bloggers? I don't actually follow any book bloggers, so this is a fairly easy one for me. I would love to meet my favourite booktubers. I have so many favourite booktubers, so I can't really pick them. But I've become so close to so many booktubers recently. And even those that I'm not really close to, I really admire and I want to get to know. But, you know, I'm a walking ball of anxiety, so that doesn't work out very well. But I would love to meet them. I'm sure book bloggers are great. I would love to chat to them, and I'm sure they're lovely people too. But I don't really follow any, so that was a bit of an easier question for me. Thank you. Would you rather dog-ear your pages or write on them? I would rather shoot myself in the head. I don't dog ear pages. I never have. I have written in a book once. I did it when I was reading The Host because I didn't have any sticky tabs. So I would write in it, but I would only write in pencil so I could rub it out. Because I can't dog ear a book. It angers me. That is permanent damage to a book. Like, there is no reason to do it. I get you want to keep where you're going in the page, but there's no logic, so I'm not going on that rant again. I know I'm going to get a lot of hate in the comments for it. Would you rather have a damaged book delivered every time, or the wrong book delivered every time, but the second or third time you might get the right one? That was a very long-winded question. I'd rather have the book damaged. I mean, provided it isn't missing any pages, I would rather get a damaged book than get the wrong book, because at least if it's damaged, it's still the right book. Also, a lot of the books I buy are from charity shops or eBay, so they're all damaged anyway because they're all cracked and bent and, you know. But as long as the pages are in them and I can read the story, I would much rather have that than get a book and it not be the book I want to read. Next, would you rather be a librarian or a bookseller? Right, I've thought about this a lot. It's very, very weird. I would rather be a librarian because I have a feeling like if I worked in Waterstones and I was a bookseller or anything like that, I'd be trying to make a sale because that is what you do when you are working in retail. You try and make a sale. You sell the books. And I feel as though if the passion isn't really on the books, it's the making the sale that counts, I'd be really upset. Whereas if I was a librarian, don't matter to me if you take out that book. Now, the library doesn't make money every time someone takes out a book because no one's buying it. I mean, I don't really know how the ongoings of a library work. Maybe the library does make money. I have no idea. But I think if I worked as a librarian, I wouldn't be focused on trying to make a sale. I could talk to somebody freely for about an hour about a book I love because I could be recommending it to them, saying, this is really good, I would recommend this. Oh, you're not into that? Right, well, I actually know the perfect thing you can do. And I could talk for hours about it. And the pressure's off, because it doesn't really matter if at the end of the day they say, I'm not really that interested, I'm sorry, you haven't wasted your time. You're just like, no problem, take out anything you fancy. So I'd love to be a librarian. Would you rather have your favourite character die at the end, or have your favourite character not complete their mission or life goal? Kill them. Like, I love my favourite characters, they are precious, but when they die, I feel even more satisfied at the end. I'm like, right, well, at least they did what they had to do. They got what they wanted. It was appropriate. Don't just kill them off for the hell of it. As long as the death is appropriate, they've completed their life goal. Thinking in terms of fantasy, if they've got what they needed to do, if they've defeated the villain, and then at the end they just succumb to their injuries. I understand. It's sad, but I get it. And it's appropriate, so I'm fine with that. So I would do that. I'd rather have them die than not complete their life mission. Would you rather live in a library in space or a library under the sea? In space. Under the sea, the books would get wet. In space. Would you rather not be able to read any book from your favourite author again or have them not publish anything again? I would rather... I've thought of this as well. James Patterson, love the guy, but he has over 350 books out. He needs to stop publishing them because there is no way I can catch up. I currently have in my collection about 219 books. I still need to get more. I haven't read half of the ones I've got. I have read so little of the books I actually own because he just keeps whipping them out. So I would rather them stop publishing because then at least I can have a complete collection and I would love them. It's my favourite author. I'll love everything they do, no matter what. And I will collect them and read them again and again and again. It doesn't matter to me if it's new books or old books. Just, I think my point has been made. Final one. Would you rather read everything ever published, even the bad books, or only read books, or only read one book a year? I would rather read everything, because then at least I can get some really, really good books. Yeah, I might have to deal with bad books, but at least I can read really good books. If you pick one book a year, imagine if you only picked one book a year and it was a crap book. Like, that would just be devastating. So, that was Bookish Would You Rather. And I actually kept the video nice and short, so I'm really happy about that. So, I really enjoyed that. If you want to do it, I will link the questions down below. I will try and find the original one that I found. So, Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. Please make sure to give me a comment down below because I love answering comments, and make sure you give me a thumbs up. If you are not subscribed, click the subscribe button and click the bell so you're always notified when I post. And other than that, I post every Monday, Wednesday and Saturday. So until next time, I will see you guys later.